Monkeys, helicopters, a snowstorm and one knock-your-socks-off panorama. We're trekking in Nepal, right here on Drone and Fan. Well, it's the fourth episode in our Nepal adventure. This one is going to be by far the toughest. We've got to get up this valley here and all the way to the Annapurna Base Camp, if we're lucky. How are you feeling, Andy?
Well, not too bad right now. Yesterday was a pretty good day, I have to say. It was a relatively easy one, but today's probably the longest one, and we've got to go all the way down there and then all the way around there, and that final 300 metre or so climb. I'm not looking forward to that, but I've got a little bit of an advantage today because Milan, our guide, he's swapped backpacks with me, so this is really light. So I'm feeling like I've got a chance of making it today, DJ, but I've got to tell you, that last climb is going to be hard.
There are a few unknown factors in this one. We're not sure what the weather's going to be like, and it could be that it's blocked further up the way with snowfall that we're expecting. Also, not sure if Andy's going to make it. We're going to have to see. Let's get going.
Come on then.
Nestled among the towering peaks of the Himalayas, Nepal offers unparalleled opportunities for trekking, and at Drone and Phone it's a trip we've been eager to do since we first started this channel. Beyond the spectacular landscapes, you also get a chance to interact with the warm and welcoming local communities that add another fascinating dimension to the journey. It's a must visit in our book and easy to get to from Hong Kong. I've linked up with an old friend, Andy Jameson from London, who's featured on a few previous series. Andy is a past Olympic athlete and avid walker, but trekking in the Himalayas is another level. There are hundreds of routes to choose from, but for this series we've created 5 episodes trekking in the central region of Nepal. Starting in Pokhara, we take off on a short adventure up to Poon Hill before embarking on a 4-day hike up to the Annapurna Base Camp. In the last episode, we leave the tourist trails and head off into the Himalayan foothills of Baglam on a special mission. In this episode, we start at Chhomrong on a 2-day trek that will take us 2,000 metres up to the Annapurna Base Camp. To make things a little more challenging, we start by dropping nearly 700 metres down into the valley. Well, technically this should be the last big downhill. From here on in, we will be steadily climbing. We're following a river valley, so most of it should be fairly straightforward. Let's just get this shot. The Mardi River Valley below Chhomrong has paddy fields terraced down to the river. It's a rare glance on this trail of Nepali rural life that in the morning sun makes for an unforgettable experience.
Well, sometimes you come across views that are utterly stunning. Check this out down here. Wow. The little bridge to cross over here. It just looks wonderful. And then you got the mountain. Look at that beastie up there. Oh, we're nearly at the bottom of the valley. Wow. We've only been going 36 minutes and we're nearly at the bottom. Death by 1,000 million steps. It's just relentless. Steps.
The steps are proving a challenge for both of us at the start of the hike.
It's just steps everywhere. Still beautiful though.
Once you cross the river, the trek starts a long but steady climb along the valley. There are villages every 1 or 2 hours that provide food, drinks and a place to stay. We are aiming for a village called Himalaya, about halfway to our destination. Just reached the halfway stage on day 1. It's going to take us 2 days to get to the Annapurna Base Camp. Feeling good? What about you, Andy?
Yeah, not too bad. I don't want to get too excitable because I know we've got an awful lot left to go, but that first bit was actually quite pleasant. There was a flat bit, DJ, a flat bit in the Himalayas.
Yeah, and we're going to hopefully stay on a reasonably flat bit over this next section, but we have a nasty steep climb at the end of the day, so onwards and upwards. At the appropriately named village of Bamboo, we get our first sighting of a grey langur monkey, the first large wild mammal spotting of the trip. Well, we've just had our lunch and it looks like the rain is starting. We've generally had rain in the afternoon and sun in the morning, but we've still got a quarter to go, and quite a tough quarter. We've got to climb between 300 and 400 meters to get up to the place we're staying tonight. We don't think it's going to take us that long, maybe an hour and a half, but it's going to be a real old tough one. I'm looking forward to the rest when we get there. How you feeling, Andy?
I feel pretty good at the moment, but I'm not looking forward to whatever is 300 and something meters up. How many meters is it?
Quite a few.
Quite a few, okay.
Let's get going. With the altitude playing its part and heavy packs on our backs, we find ourselves gasping for air a short way into the climb. Luckily for us, the afternoon rain has not set in just yet.
Well, if you can see my sweat, this is brutal. We have this very steep climb at the end of the day and big steps, heavy backpack, and it's been a long day, but it's got to be done. We're in the Himalayas, this is what we signed up for. So we gotta keep going.
As the legs start to fatigue, we find ourselves slipping on the wet rocks.
My glasses are steamed up. Crikey.
At just under 3,000 metres, Himalaya is cold and damp. Although we see trains of donkeys and the occasional brave porter carrying supplies up the valley, the further you go up, the more primitive the accommodation. But with the base camp in sight, it's good enough for us.
Well, final update from a very rainy Himalaya village. It's called Himalaya, and they call it a guest house, is probably the most basic we've had so far. So 2 scrawny little beds that are really quite damp, but I've had a hot shower, which is good, and we missed the rain. We hiked this morning and just got in before the rain started, which is great, but you can see it's really whizzing down now. The clouds keep coming in and out. We've had a bit of a thunderstorm already. You can see the clouds coming down here. But no, it's been a pretty good day, really. Really quite happy. I'm delighted to make it up to here, and I'm pretty hopeful I can make it up tomorrow to the base camp, Annapurna Base Camp, which is another 1,200 meters. So I'm very cold, but just ordered dinner, which is going to be tomato soup with noodles in it, Himalayan style, and then some fried noodles, mixed fried noodles, which they just bung anything in, but seems to be the tastiest dish, with a bit of hot sauce and a cup of black Himalayan tea with some sugar. It is flipping freezing, so I'm going to go in now, but delighted to be here. I'm at Himalaya. I'm at 2,900 meters, 9,000 feet. I'm doing all right.
Next morning, we're up at dawn and preparing for the last push. We've seen bad weather coming in later in the day, so we're keen to get on the trail as soon as we can. How you feeling?
Not too bad. I'm just going to start slow, because every time I start fast, I get exhausted after about 500 yards. So I'm going nice and steady. Altitude's definitely kicking in. So we'll see how it goes, but I've had my honey toast, I've had my scrambled eggs. I'm feeling good.
As the valley narrows, we are told by Milan that this will be the most dangerous section of the trek. Helicopters buzz over us, ferrying in day trippers from Pokhara, but for us there is no easy way other than a long slog up.
This valley is properly stunning. I've probably taken 10 videos already, but I don't care, because that's just awesome. It's a long way down, a long way up. TJ, how far have we gone up so far? About 400 meters?
We've done about 400, but the problem is for you, it's like 3 steps forward, 1 photograph. 3 steps forward, 1 photograph.
3 steps forward, 1 photograph. Oh yeah, maybe. but I'm loving it. It's what I am. But so maybe 400 down, 400 meters down, which leaves 800 to go. That doesn't sound great, does it?
At one junction, we were offered two choices. Take the fast route, but risk being swept away by an avalanche. 3 years ago, 7 hikers and their guides were killed along this section when an avalanche hit. Afraid of the impending storm, we opt for the faster route, but vow to return on the longer but safer path the next day. It's getting a lot harder as we climb. Andy's just getting a lesson on how to speak Nepali.
Matsaputri.
That is Matsaputri up there.
What is it?
I said it perfectly. Matsaputri.
Matsaputri.
Thank you. He just told me I was right. That's the first base camp, and that's really a major milestone. We'll be having lunch up there, and from there it's just a 2-hour push to the final Annapurna Base Camp. There were times coming up here I was kind of wondering whether I was going to make it much further than here, but new burst of energy. Let's hope I'm going to feel good after lunch. How about you, Andy? How are you feeling?
But if you thought you might not make it, I tell you what, it was good when I grabbed onto your shirt and you pulled me up the mountain. I am so happy to see that. I wasn't quite sure I was even going to get to the last place, to Himalaya. So to see Machu Picchu and then a little bit of lunch up there. Yeah. And then a little bit of steak and chips and maybe a glass of red. And then we're going to go on up to ABC.
There we go. The Machu Picchu Base Camp is just 2 hours away from our goal, and some people choose to stay there, making a day trip up to the Annapurna Base Camp the next day with lighter packs. But for us, the day is young and we have ambitions to be there by nightfall. First, some food to keep us going.
What's the food, Andy?
It's really good, actually. This is the best I think I've had. Dal bat and a hot tea. The potatoes are delicious. The rice is really good. And the dal's really good. This is just what the doctor ordered.
Rested and energised, it's time for the final act.
Well, we're setting off on the last section. We think it's going to take about 2 hours, but the weather's closed in. It's snowing and it's got very cold all of a sudden. So we've got about 400 meters to climb and about 2 hours of walking. And as we go up, we're expecting the snow to get thicker and harder to walk through. I don't have the right shoes, but I'm hoping I can make it for 2 hours. Let's go.
As expected, a storm moves in, bringing heavy snow. The views quickly disappear into a white fog and we're left head down, heading towards our goal. There's no turning back now.
Still pretty darn snowy, look. This is it. And then, about 100 yards back, I was just passing this beautiful iced over ponds next to the path, right next to the path. And I thought, how beautiful. And then I stepped one step a little too close. And I went in about 18 inches in my right boot. So my right shoe, which is Gore-Tex and waterproof, is now icy cold and soaking wet.
4,000 metres, we feel the oxygen depleting, and now it's just us against the elements. Fortunately, the final gradient is quite gentle and the path is still clear in spite of the heavy snow.
I'm not sure if you can see it, but that is the Annapurna Base Camp. But we've been looking at it for a little while now and it doesn't seem to get any closer, and every breath at this altitude is a tough one. But we should be there in a matter of minutes now. This part, well, it's not been too bad. Not too steep a gradient, but quite long. And in the driving snow, well, look at that.
Elated, we stop for pictures at the welcome sign and push on up the final set of stairs towards the camp. Fortunately for us, as we reach the tea houses, the weather starts to improve and the mountains appear in front of us.
Well, I finally made it. Can't believe it. That's absolutely fantastic. What a slog it was, that last bit. There's not much oxygen up here, but it's absolutely beautiful.
At night, we stargaze and have a go at astrophotography with our phones. It's cold but clear, and when dawn breaks, we're greeted with a magical panorama that makes the effort to get there all worthwhile.
Well, that's it for the end of this episode. It has been an epic trying to get up to base camp. We've made it, and we're feeling a little bit better after a good night's sleep. How are you feeling, Andy?
I feel pretty good, actually. I have to say, I'm really excited to be here. I wasn't really sure that I was going to make it. Certainly some of those steep sections were incredibly hard work, but that last little bit actually wasn't too bad. The air's thin, but it was good. It was really good. In the snow was a challenge too, but I just love it. It's beautiful up here.
It is absolutely stunning. Now, we've got a little special extra episode, so please stay tuned. If you've not already subscribed, you'll find us on YouTube. Just search out Drone and Phone on our website at droneandphone.com. For now, my name's DJ.
I'm Andy J.
This is
Drone and Phone. So here we are in Bamboo, 2145 meters, and I've got to tell you, no idea why they actually call it bamboo. Let me just go and ask the maestro himself. DJ,
Yeah,
what do they call it bamboo for then?
I've got no idea.
Such a muppet.